G'day, it's great that we can be together again today, and this week we are going to look at Genesis 28. In Genesis 28, we see Jacob is on the move. He is trying to get away from his brother Esau, and it's all because he got his father's blessing, Isaac's blessing. So we shifted along in our sermons from Abraham, and now we are with Jacob. And Jacob has no fancy camping equipment with him. While he's on the run, he just lays his head on a rock. And let's read this passage.
Jacob left Beersheba and went through toward Haran. And he came to a certain place and stayed there at night, because the sun had set. Taking one of the stones of the place, he put it under his head and lay down in that place to sleep. And he dreamt, and behold, there was a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. And behold, the Lord stood above it and said, I am the Lord, the God of Abraham your father, and the God of Isaac. The land on which you lie, I will give to you and to your offspring. Your offspring shall be like the dust of the earth, and you shall spread abroad to the west and to the east and to the north and to the south. And in you and your offspring shall all the families of the earth be blessed. Behold, I am with you, and will keep you wherever you go, and will bring you back to this land. For I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you. Then Jacob awoke from his sleep and said, Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it. And he was afraid and said, How awesome is this place! This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. So early in the morning Jacob took the stone that he had put under his head and set it up for a pillar, and poured oil on top of it. He called the name of that place Bethel. But the name of the city was Luz at first. Then Jacob made a vow, saying, If God will be with me, and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat and clothing to wear, so that I can come again to my father's house in peace, then the Lord shall be my God. And this stone, which I have set upon for a pillar, shall be God's house. And of all that you give me, I will give a full tenth to you.
So in this passage, we saw that he becomes aware of God's presence. He sees that there's a ladder between heaven and earth. And in this ladder, there's a thin place where he meets God. Now, the people in those ages believed that with ziggurats they can climb up to heaven, and probably the Tower of Babel was a ziggurat like that. But he becomes aware of God's presence, and God reveals himself to Jacob. He says, like I am Abraham's father, Abraham's God, like I'm Isaac's God, I will be your God, and I will provide to you. So this covenant with Abraham goes forward, even with Jacob that was untruthful, deceitful, and pretended to be his brother. God doesn't leave Jacob. God doesn't leave Esau. He is with them all. And in this, he gives a promise. Jacob, in return, also gives a promise that he will be thankful and that he will acknowledge God's gift. May we become aware of God in these thin places, especially in times that can be very overwhelming for us. That we are not alone, that God is still with us, and that God walks the road forward with us. May you have a blessed week. Goodbye.